Okay, views. This is Dr. James on Wednesday, 8th of October 2025. And right now I'm at the upper precinct in Coventry City Centre. And what do I need to mention? Well, it's come to my attention that obviously it's not just the housing officers and social services who are at fault when I was rendered homeless and not allocated housing. During the time I was rendered homeless and forced to sleep rough in my car, if you can recall, from 26th of April 2023 onwards. And that ordeal lasted for 13 months onwards before I was eventually discovered by the outreach workers from the Jesus Centre on Lamb Street, Coventry, and allocated supported housing ever since. So what's come to my attention? Well, last year's figure for 2024 from the Coventry Homefinder system, and that's the system I was registered on for allocating me a place, an alternative place of abode to go to, my own place, bed sits, bungalows, flats, etc., apartments. That's all on the Coventry Homefinder system, and I was registered on that before I was even rendered homeless, and even afterwards, obviously, but with raised priority for 56 days on Band 2 priority. And the statistics are, for 2024, there are 10,000 single people in Coventry area, and out of that, only around 300 or 400 people were given a place to go to, allocated a room or bedroom, a room in a house that's shared, etc., or even a flat for themselves. So that's not much, is it? Only 300 or 400 out of 10,000 single applicants, and that doesn't include obviously families and people with partners. Obviously, they get more priority, but this is the 10,000 for the single, and that's the figure. So that's around 3 to 4% at the most who actually are successful in the Coventry Homefinder system. That explains everything. No wonder why I wasn't allocated a place. If there's that many people that are applying and they're single, that's virtually almost like every 18-year-old wanting a place of their own, just say they've been thrown out by their parents or something. Just an example, and they all register with Coventry Homefinder for a place, and they're not going to get anywhere either. And obviously, it depends on the priority band that you're on. And I was allocated Band 2 priority, so that didn't get me anywhere. Even now, I'm on Band 2 priority, so I still haven't got my own place. I'm only in supported housing. So they're to blame, Coventry Homefinder. They're to blame for me having to sleep rough in my car. Because if they didn't allocate me a place, then who would? Obviously, the Home Office doesn't allocate hotel accommodation unless you're a refugee asylum seeker. And I wasn't actually one of those, was I? I was an internal refugee, but there's no rules for internal refugees. Only for external. If you're outside the UK and coming to reside here, so they could have treated me as an internal refugee. That's all I was saying, but they never. And they would even put them in places like the Hilton Hotel at great expense and cost. And that's what the government forks out. It pays out their bill, obviously, regardless of if they're staying at the Hilton or whatever. And if they could put me in, say, the Britannia Hotel, that's one of the cheapest hotels in Coventry, actually. The Hilltop and also the Britannia Hotel, as well as the Royal Court Hotel. They're the cheapest hotels in Coventry. And it wouldn't have been unreasonable for them to put me there and carry on paying. But they're so daft, obviously, they didn't even consider that. So that's the whole message here. If the Home Office couldn't do that, then obviously it's down to the Coventry Homefinder system. And they should have found me a place, and they didn't, obviously, because there's so many applicants. And like I said, from last year's statistics, that is 2024, and I'm not talking about 2023, just for 2024, 10,000 applicants, and only 300 or 400 out of those will be successful or were successful. And that's about a tiny proportion. Only 3 to 4% of the applicants get housed, get housed or rehoused or whatever you want to call it. Given a room in a shared house, a bed sit in a flat, a room in a flat, etc. Whatever it is that's available, and whatever they're bidding for. So obviously I'm bidding now, right now, even on band 2 property, but I'm not getting anywhere. So my viewers need to be made aware of that anyway. That's all I can say. So the Coventry Home Finder system let me down miserably. It's an appalling system. I think it was better in the old days when they had none of these private companies, and the bidding system wasn't there in the old days, obviously. It's a lot different. Dr. James Wondrich on Smithford Way in Coventry City Centre on the 8th of October 2025.